Today I'm making pesto alla Genovese, which is basil pesto in the style of Genoa. It's very easy to make. Once you see how easy this is, you'll probably never buy pesto again, hopefully. It's all natural, it's vegan. So main ingredients, of course, is the basil. I usually try to buy the plants, but I couldn't get any this week. This is really nice basil. It's been washed. It's quite a lot here, so we may not even use the whole thing up in this recipe. Flat leaf Italian parsley, olive oil, pine nuts. You can do this without the pine nuts. I personally like it without, but I'm going to make it with the pine nuts because people seem to like them. If you can't find these, you can use walnuts. But the pine nuts are good. They're a little expensive, so if you want to save a little money, I throw in the walnuts or don't use them at all. Salt and a clove of peeled garlic about this size. You don't want to go crazy on the garlic. Now this isn't peeled yet because I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to easily peel garlic. And that is it. Traditionally, this is made in a mortar and pestle. Most people probably don't even know what a mortar and pestle is anymore. I don't have one, I doubt you do, so we're going to use a food processor, a small one. You can make this in really big batches. It freezes beautifully for 6 months to even a year. Because of the oil in it, it's anaerobic. So if you have a lot of basil, make a lot of pesto and just scale up the recipe. So let me get to the garlic and then we'll get on with the recipe. So the idea of peeling garlic is daunting to most people, but let me show you how to do it very, very easily. You take a clove of garlic, a flat-bladed knife, give it a good smash. There you go. Peeled. That's all there is to it. So don't sit there and try to peel it. Cut off this little brown end here. It's bitter. I toss that out. That's the easy way to peel garlic. Now we make pesto. So now we're going to put in the food processor about so much pine nuts. This is actually a little bit much for this size recipe, but you don't want to go too crazy with that. Put those in there. They need a good chop here. Okay, this is not cooperating today. And then in goes the garlic. Remember, 1 large clove is enough, especially the first time you make this. You don't want to go crazy with the garlic. You want to taste the basil and everything and keep it nice and fresh. So we're going to finely chop the garlic. Okay. We're going to start adding our basil and picking it off the stems here. These are quite large. And I'm not going to make you sit through watching me do this, so we'll fast forward a little bit. Okay, so we got quite a bit of basil in here. I've been packing it down as I do it. You can't have too much basil. But that's going to be enough. Get that out of there. This out of here. Give this a little spin here. Just to tamp it down a little bit. You have to do this a couple of times. At this point, you can add a little olive oil. It's going to help chop and emulsify it. Truth be told, I kind of overfilled this, so it's going to take a little while. Tamping that down around the blades. do it. Okay. A little bit left. Okay. Now, take the flat leaf parsley. This has also been washed, and just use a kitchen shears or just tear it up. You can leave the little stems on here. So you want about, I'd say, 8 parts basil to 2 parts parsley. And then we're going to add some more oil. And I just realized I screwed something up. So bear with me a moment. What I left out was one of the most important ingredients, Parmigiano Reggiano. Get some of the good stuff that's ground fresh in the store. Do not use that Kraft stuff in a tube. Okay, so we want to get a good bit of cheese in there. More olive oil. Some salt. This is sea salt I'm using. Blend that all down. Okay, so that's a little dry. Keep adding the olive oil. Do not use EVO, please. The EVO has too much taste, and it's going to overpower the basil. Scrape this down. And keep it going for a while until it's pretty much all emulsified. I'm going to taste a little bit of this the old-fashioned way. That's good. There's a little bit more cheese and a little bit more salt. Remember, the cheese is salty, so don't go crazy with the salt. And just a little more olive oil. That's it. Look how beautifully green that is. Yes, I know I'm sticking my finger into a food processor. That's perfect. That's all there is for that. I'm going to let this sit around for about an hour or even more to blend the flavors. Just let it sit on the kitchen counter and it'll be fine. Remove that. And now I'm going to cook up some pasta to go with this, some farfalle, bow ties. It's my favorite type with pesto. So here we go with that. So this pesto has been mellowing out for a while, combining the flavors. You can see the oil separating a little bit. I'm going to make some pasta with this. You can use the pesto on cold pasta for pesto salad or whatever, however you want. It's very versatile, but these are what I'm going to cook: farfalle or bow ties. You want something that's going to hold the shape and that the pesto is going to stick to. Rotini are very good, the curlicues. I like the farfalle. So we're going to cook these up. Do not ever heat the pesto. Never, never, never. No. Do not heat pesto. When you make it, keep it at room temperature. Let it mellow for an hour or two at least, if you're going to use it the same day. If you're going to freeze it, you can go ahead and freeze it after it's made. It keeps 6 months in the freezer. It's anaerobic, so letting it sit on the counter won't, nothing goes bad because of the oil. It means that there is no oxygenated bacteria or anything. You just want to let that mellow after you make it and let it acquire flavor. It's perfect now. I'm going to make some farfalle and a nice green salad with it, and it's going to be delicious. Okay, I'm just about to put this pasta in. I made a nice salad here of baby lettuces, baby romaine, baby kale. The baby varieties of these things are actually higher in nutrients than the full-grown salads. They're usually available in your supermarkets. I've got some beautiful tomato in there, some red onion. I'm just going to dress this. A little olive oil, salt, pepper, and red wine vinegar. Especially complements the pesto with a little bit of acidity. So I highly recommend that. Pasta is going to go in right now. This calls for 11 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer for 11, then I'm going to taste it. I'm a big growing boy, so I get a nice healthy portion. And we'll come back to that in 11 minutes. And pesto without wine is a sin. This is in vitro. I get this at Total Wine & More. It is a superb, super Tuscan. It's not expensive. As you see, half of it's gone already into the cook. I highly recommend this. It's about, if you buy it by the case, about 13 bucks a bottle. Can't go wrong. It has a very modern glass stopper rather than an old-fashioned cork. This is the way of the future. So if you have a Total Wine & More near you, I highly recommend this. Okay, so there's our alarm going off at 11 minutes. Give these a stir. Shut the damn stupid phone off. Let's give this a taste, see if it's done. It's almost perfect. Needs a little bit, another minute more. We're going to drain it very quickly in a colander. And then immediately train it into the serving dish with that lovely pesto. I get to eat this as a goodie. We're almost there. Get this in the sink, and my serving dish is over there next to the sink. I don't have anybody to film for me, so everything happens on one camera. But we're almost there. Okay, so we run very quickly, just a second in the colander, and right back into the dish with the pesto, and keep a little bit of that water on the pasta, and we're done. I've got a nice salad waiting, a good glass of red wine. You can at this point add, if you like, a little more cheese. Even a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil if you so prefer. It's got quite a bit of oil in it already, but that's it. There it is. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button, the big red one. Hit that like button, it's a thumbs up. And click the bell next to the subscribe button. You'll get an email whenever a new video goes up. I appreciate your support, and mangiare. And there we have it. That beautiful green pesto on our farfalle, pasta, a lovely glass of wine, a nice mixed salad of baby greens, baby kale, red onion and tomato with a simple oil and vinegar vinaigrette, and some good eating. So see you next time. Remember, if you like this video, and you will love this, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, it's that big red button, and there will be more to come. Bye.